Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. I'm so sorry I had to push the time back a couple times. We had a little bit of a schedule conflict. Let me mute myself because I could hear myself kind of talking. Shout out to everybody, Chico, Rhiannon, thank you for being here. Beth, Pika. Ooh, who else is here? I saw that surprise witness. Shout out to BJ in the chat. You guys dropped some hearts for BJ. SW's here. Tiki's here. Sarah, Beth, thank you. Little Miss is here. Wim is here. He was like, has it started yet? No, it just started right now. Shout out to you. Blonde Bomb, thank you for being here. Lola Gypsy or Gypsy Lola, excuse me. Satan Chicken Rooster Jesus Soup, thank you for being here. Hoping for Answers is here. Bokomaru, welcome. Thank you for being here. SW, thank you. Kate. Cinnabunny's in the chat. Perry, thank you for being here. Darlene Wolf, thank you for being here. Darlene, I think I got your message. I'm gonna have to follow up with you. I'm sorry. I get so many messages, y'all. If I don't answer, please don't think that I'm ignoring you. It's just that I truly get a lot of messages and I can't always get to all of them. And it's just me who runs the channel and the messages. So forgive me, forgive my heart, okay? Fairy, welcome. Shout out to you. Good timing right after work. Okay. Kimmy, Tazzy, how you been, Tazzy? It's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. Kimmy, Patricia, thank you. Hey, Lady BB. Hey, 8 Trained Monkey. Thank you for being here. Anna, thank you. Who else do I see? 8 Daisy Girl. Shout out to Daisy Girl. Daisy Girl has been like my one of my day ones. Shout out to, it's always nice to see like my day ones. And y'all, we gonna have our 50K party. I just haven't had the time to really like I've been busy. All right. We gonna probably do it this week. I just haven't quite decided the time. And I kind of want to invite, more people to it, other creators and whatnot. And I would be happy to have, of course, all my day ones there. Kimmy, Patricia, Tazzy, thank you again. Who else? Beth, Christy B, thank you for being here. Stephanie, positive vibes. Thank you. You are not late. You're right on time, Running Bear. DB, thank you. Messy Beautiful Boss, like I just took a break from Natalia Grace to join you. You take a break because that thing will suck you in. All right. And you Messy Ball, I'm waiting for your comment when you finish. You let me know what you think in the other video. Shauna B, thank you. Bridget, everybody, Nebulous, thank you for being here. And I said hello to DB. Welcome. All right. Who else? Who else is in there? Remy, thank you for being here. Hey, everybody. On the rocks and the soil. Welcome. Okay, Marcy, welcome. Everybody, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. So let's get right into it. We're going to get right into it because we have some stuff to cover. Um, I've kind of been like, first of all, we don't have any updates. Let's be very clear as far as the Savannah Soto and Matthew case. Okay, we don't have any updates. I think the best way for anybody that's a little bit lost about this case is to start with the timeline. So I'm going to go ahead. I mean, I pulled this from a reporter, so we're going to start right here. For those that aren't familiar with this case, this is going to help you kind of get your feet wet and get into what we're going to talk about today. Let me hit play and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Now, with the arrest come new details from the investigators who have pieced together an updated timeline. All of the events, according to police, unfolding in a small neighborhood in Leon Valley, all within blocks of each other. We start at the beginning. The new arrest affidavit reveals that the murders actually happened 2 days before 18-year-old Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra were reported missing late on December 21st, sometime before midnight. According to investigators who looked at cell phone records, Matthew Guerra had searched for Charlie Chan Drive and Cary Grant Drive, and his vehicle records show he went there.
So that's where we start. Remember when a lot of us were reporting this, I didn't report the disappearance of Savannah Soto initially. It was actually one of the ones that was on my radar, and it was actually brought by a lot of the subs who said, Rabbit, there is a missing pregnant woman out of San Antonio, Texas. So that kind of piqued my interest at the time, and I saw some other people picked it up. And then as we are still looking and reporting, like I think it was the day, was it the day that they were found that's really truly when we kind of jumped on and started reporting on it as well. Thank you. Ooh, welcome. Shout out to all the new subbies. Thank you for being here. Okay.
According to the father of Christopher Preciado, that is where his son attempted to buy marijuana from Guerra. And depending on who you talk to, a fight ensued. Minutes later, that Kia Optima moved to 5903 Danny K Drive to an apartment complex parking lot, only to be joined minutes later by Ramon Preciado's Silverado pickup.
So law enforcement does a press conference and they release this footage. And this footage, we talked about the press conference. There were things that were said that weren't said and were said, and a lot of us had maybe more questions. One of the questions that we had specifically on this channel is, why isn't there a date on this footage? Like, there was no time frame or anything. And this is back, we were playing it backwards. People were sending me inverted images. We were Google map searching the location to figure out like the exact location where this vehicle was at. I mean, we were in and out. We were looking into cameras in the spot, looking at the height of the cameras. There's a lady by the name of Mona Harris who turned in some kind of stuff, material or whatever from Facebook, and that was interesting as well. So there was just so many running, moving parts to this case, but not a lot of answers. People were zooming into those images. You could see a big guy walking out of the truck, and so everybody was trying to see who in San Antonio had a big stomach with a Silverado and who could have been driving that. And then when we see the Kia, we see what looks to be a woman, but really it was Christopher with long hair, Christopher Preciado with long hair, right? Not a woman. But just giving you, refreshing everybody of the details that we went through as we were covering the story. Hoping for answers. Thank you for being a member for 12 months. Oh my God, that's a year. A freaking year. Thank you, Hoping for Answers. Tazzy has been a member for 9 months. And Wim just gifted 5 memberships, you guys. Drop some hearts for Wim. Wim is always gifting. Thank you, Wim. Shauna B, thank you for being a member for 5 freaking months. You guys are awesome. This is why I love it. We got supporters in here for like long, long time ago. Long, long time ago. Thank you.
Police say the surveillance video shows the truck pulling in with its lights off, and Ramon and Christopher appear to have some sort of an exchange. Then the two drive to the back of the complex. It would be another day on December 23rd that both families were so worried they called the Leon Valley Police Department. The two had not been seen for days, and Savannah had not shown up for her appointment to deliver her baby.
So she does not show up for her appointment. People are concerned. That was the biggest press. I believe she was code silver in San Antonio for a missing person. When somebody goes missing, there's different codes that they put. So like for her, it would be maybe like medical emergency, given that she is pregnant and about to give birth. She missed her due date. She was supposed to head to the hospital. Stephanie S, thank you for being a member for 6 months. 6 months. Thank you, love. Articulate says, how did his dad not freak out to get out of the car to go check everything that had happened? Inquiring Minds wants to know, asking for a friend. I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions. I wonder if the neighbors have surveillance. I'm wondering how many people got out of that truck when they got back home. There's so much that a lot of people are wondering at this point. Truly.
Fast forward 3 more days to the day after Christmas. That's when Leon Valley PD was tipped off that Guerra's car was in that apartment parking lot, and the 2 corpses of the would-be parents were found.
And yes, so you had Savannah pregnant, dead in the car in the front seat, and Matthew dead in the back seat, both of gunshot contact wounds to the head. Okay. There was an image, it was on Facebook, and we stumbled upon it too while we were live, where somebody got a shot of it closer, and you can actually see it's horrible. This specific situation is horrible because you can actually see that Savannah had the car seat on her legs. Okay, so we saw a little bit of that. I mean, they were dead in the vehicle. They had been dead for a couple days in that vehicle. So it's assumed, and I think we can all assume this at this point now, that when Christopher was driving the car, the Kia, and Ramon was driving the Silverado, that Savannah and Matthew were already dead in that vehicle. So they were driving to basically leave it at this parking lot right here. This is where the vehicle was found, right? It's an assumption at this point that we can all make.
Both with gunshot wounds to their heads. 7 days later, police act on cell phone tracking information, and they think they've solved the mystery. Just last night, blocks away from the crime scene at that same Charlie Chan Drive and Cary Grant Drive area, Ramon Preciado was confronted by police, who they say quickly admitted to his involvement and that of his son.
Sure did. They admitted to their involvement, okay? Dad comes over here and does the what is it, the perp walk, and basically says fake news, fake news. Christopher doesn't say anything, but Dad was like fake news, fake news. They're asking him questions, and what he can say is fake news. I have been sitting here thinking about this over and over. And shout out to Cinema Shogun. I'm going to pull a little bit of his video because he makes a really good point. He's actually made a lot of valid points throughout this case. In my opinion, and I think a lot of us might have this opinion as well, is Ramon Preciado knows a lot more. Ramon Preciado knows a lot more. And throughout the time since their arrest and the press conference, there's been two of them since, right? There was a press conference when they did the walk, and then there was another press conference. And the officer that gave the last press conference, I don't know if it was an intentional trip up, but he alluded to the fact, based on his answers, that there might be a third person. And a lot of us saw that footage. We zoomed in, we zoomed out, we inverted, we flipped and turned and did all the video techniques that everybody does online, right? Because we're sleuths. You could see somebody throwing something white to the Kia, to hand over to the Kia, to Ramon to hand over to the Kia. That's what you can see. So a lot of us have been sitting here and we saying it's a towel, it's a white tee, it's a napkin, it's a piece of paper, it's about anything at this point. Somebody else was in that Silverado with Ramon. We have said this time and time again, we would probably put our money on it at this point. And some people have said that the mother, meaning Christopher's mom, Ramon's ex-wife, might have been involved. Definitely a third person. We talked about this. I said, I'm not like, it just seems so. And let me tell you, this is just commentary. We are not, Carmen Sandiego, anything at this point. We're not trying to solve no case right now. We are trying to give commentary to this. Trisha, you tell them the towel didn't throw itself. Like the shit didn't just go bloop, 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 walking over there. It did not. It did not. You're right. You think it's the mother? You think it's the brother? Definitely a third person? Tea makers like somebody had to have folded something. It was something white given for them to wipe. So we're over here waiting. Listen, I've been waiting for another arrest. We've been waiting. It was thrown. But Trisha said it best. She said, listen, that towel did not throw itself. It did not. Oop.
Keep up to date with all of San Antonio's top news.
That gives you a little bit of a timeline as far as how things kind of played out at this point. So there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of stuff had been said. Let me see if I can pull up Cinema Shogun's video because he did an awesome video. Was it last night? Yo, Cinema Shogun hit 100K. Shout out to Cinema Shogun. There was once, he just had me thinking about this. And like I said, when he does his commentary on true crime, he's like right on the money as it pertains to it. He knows how to kind of nail it.
And let me just say this. When it comes to cases like this one, I don't think it's a good idea to be spreading the location
I agree.
of these little events all over the internet.
I agree.
When we're dealing with a case like this one, I don't think it's a good idea to be publicly posting the location of the wakes, the visuals, the funerals, and you name it.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel terrible that Savannah and Matthew and their unborn child are gone. I know that everyone wants to send their condolences. Some people want to show up.
You know what? And he makes a really good point here. Like, you just don't know whatsoever. Shirley, I didn't ignore what you said. You do realize that we got a lot of comments over here, love. Like, there's a lot of comments to go through. I didn't ignore what you said, girl. You are not the only person in this chat. Please know. Hold up. The rag doesn't have legs, says Sterling. It was thrown. We don't know if it was the ex-brother or the ex or someone else. 85 was someone, but we can only speculate who. That's absolutely. People have said different things. Not Shay Rose is like, interview the towel rabbit. Stop it. Stop the towel. Let me ask you guys a question. What if the towel is in the car? Somebody handed that towel out there. They might have had evidence. You know? I was thinking about that. What if the towel like winded up in the car? Like, what if? What if? They have to have known there's a third person there. Absolutely. I think they have additional information. They're going to wait until Savannah and the baby are buried. Probably a good idea too. You be real. You don't think that that law enforcement doesn't have any? Do you honestly think that they don't know? I think that they do. I think that they're still interviewing. Aw, thank you, Rare Zebra says, love your reporting a wonderful family that you have cultivated here in the chat. I love you and your action. Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for the 4 month, being a member for 4 months. You guys, I can't always get to all the comments, so please don't be upset with me. I try my best. Please note that if you're a member, those are the priority comments that I go to because you guys are supporters of the channel. Thank you. Let's see. Thank you, Running Bear. Someone clearly struggling with sharing. I love, yeah, shout out to Shogun. He just hit 100K. Shout out to him. That was not Christopher. That was stepdad out of the car. That person was short and thinner. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Second channel is fat and opinionated. Yes, he does have a second channel. Only reason not to mention the third person is that they are a witness. Team Maker, you think this is what I was thinking too. What if they're working on a deal? You know, could be shorter time, something. They're still accessory to a murder. Wouldn't they be an accessory to a murder at this point? Gloria says the towel went back in the truck with dad. Really? I believe they know who the towel ghost is. I think that they know. Listen. Why don't we do this? You already know. Let's do a little poll and see where you land. All right? Because, like I said, there's a third person. Who is the towel thrower? Who is the towel thrower? I'm gonna put in here. Christopher's mom. What is Christopher? Do we know? I don't want to put her name out there if we don't know. I'm sure everybody knows her name by now. Christopher's mom. The brother. Chris' brother. Ramon's girlfriend. Or someone else. Here we go. Go vote and please hit the like button. Please and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Filthy Force says, I heard them specifically ask about a third person and then being like, yeah, we're considering that. I heard that too. I heard that too. Sure did. Thank you, Charlotte, for becoming a member. Shout out to you. People in the chat need to relax about comments. Thank you so much, beautiful Miss Bell. You tell them. You tell them. I try my best to get through everybody. Law enforcement has a plan. It does not exactly making it public. I would agree with you on that one. I have a feeling that they know. You know what I'm saying? Like they just do. Seriously, I think they agree not to change the third person if they confess, not to charge the third person if they confess. Okay, Shirley says, I think Christopher and Ramon was in the truck and the person that stepped out of the car was short and thinner. Potentially, it's a good assessment. Or trying to give more information on a drug connection. Maybe others. Somebody said which it wouldn't surprise me that the HVAC business was a front. Could be. They were probably able to ping the phone off the third person. You said dad's Sarah, vote. I'm kind of curious to know. I'm looking at the poll numbers. That is it low. You guys, these numbers. Potentially, Aaron, that's a good point. They were able to ping the phone of the third person. Okay. Let me just say this. And I'm not saying clearly like this was a really stupid crime, right? Like it was reckless, it was unnecessary, okay? But I feel like it happened in that moment. And some people have said, some of you guys have said it's premeditated that Christopher planned to rob Matthew. And I sit there and I'm like, but really? Like you see how many stupid mistakes they made to try to cover it up, unless they weren't trying to cover it up. Because dad just kind of said, no, I'm a turn myself in, or they cooperated right away. They didn't deny the fact that they were around, that they had met. You think it was the girlfriend? Mm, interesting. Charlotte, thank you for becoming a member, love. What happened to I don't know. I don't know left. It's been thrown out just like the towel. SW. Thank you, Jen. Maybe Christopher's girlfriend. Well, does he actively had a girlfriend? Because I knew he had a girlfriend for Halloween, but I didn't know about anybody else. Maybe they're so minimally involved too. Like boy told dad, dad went knowingly, mom knew, yeah, and was set up, went to, and only found out then potentially. The girlfriend would not have been in the back seat, would she? I don't know. Cinnabunny says, I feel like they're not going to say who the third person is until they confirm themselves with, like they did about Christopher and Ramon, potentially. Um, yes, the chat is also for others to answer. It's a conversation. Yes, it is. They also can make arrests on the third person based on the hunch. They can't. You're absolutely right. They can't make arrests on that. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I think if the son chose to go home and tell his dad, then it's the girlfriend, right? Who is in the truck? Well, I think we've determined that it's Ramon, right? Hey, Kelly Vlogs. The third person is probably making a deal to testify against the father and the son. Is the third girlfriend is the third person the mom, Christopher's brother, Ramon's girlfriend, or someone else? And 49% said this is out of almost 200 votes. I want to get to at least 200 votes so we can have like a good little scale. And while you guys are voting, please hit that like button. Okay. Ramon's girlfriend is the top number right now. It is. So I'm wondering, hold up, let me see if I can get ahead. Mom tossed a towel, younger person would have gotten off. It's interesting. It's an interesting comment, L. Harley. Thank you for the $2. You think the third person is a girl? I'm sure they cooperated right away because it was a big burden they were carrying. Absolutely. Could have could the dad have been the supplier of drugs potentially? We were just talking about, could the HVAC business been a front for something else? Creepy old lady says, question, do we expect teenage gang members to act with intelligence and caution? Serious question, not sarcasm. I think in this specific crime, I don't know if it was necessarily like a gang hit. The way they've classified this is that it's a drug deal gone wrong. That's what they've said, but not necessarily a gang hit.
It's their loved ones.
Okay, I want to get to this.
So I've been wondering, how do they feel about this? Well, Matthew's father spoke about it recently, and I found what he had to say interesting, because it looks like, well, instead of telling you what it looks like, let's just listen to what he has to say really quickly.
So this is pertaining to a suspect, another person, a third person.
Before I roll this clip, though, I need a huge favor from all of you all. I need you to hit that like button.
Hit that like
We
button.
got to start getting those likes up. And I need you all to subscribe if you haven't already. But without further ado, let's roll this clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Because of the time of the murder and the time the bodies were found, I'm not able to have an open casket for Matthew. So even that person who threw the towel knew a crime had been committed.
Even that person who threw the towel and knew that a crime had been committed. Even the person, this is Dad's words. Even the person who threw the towel and knew that a crime had been committed.
And just by not reporting it, I'm gonna have to have a close casket for Matthew. So most definitely, I'm pushing for that third person. I want any and everyone involved in any way, shape, or form.
Did y'all see that? There's a third person involved. All right? No speculation, no nothing. That Dad said it. The San Antonio PD said it in the last conference. They kind of alluded the way they answered that. We said it was something that was said. He was putting down and we were picking up. Dad said a lot right here. He did. Hey, Kenneth, thank you for becoming a member. Love, shout out to you. Realification, 15 minutes behind. I rarely catch one of your live streams. Mucho hugs and love you, Rabbit. Thank you, Realification. Shout out to Realification for being a member for freaking 10 months. Thank you, love, and thank you for stopping by. What do you guys think? Calvin, thank you for the $2. What do y'all think? Let me know. We're not all crazy, T. Solace? I didn't think so. I know I wasn't going crazy.
Held to the highest
prosecution.
I mean,
Dad says I want them held to the highest level of prosecution, okay?
it's hard to disagree with anything he just said, right?
That's right.
I can't disagree with anything he just said. If there's a third suspect, that third suspect needs to be arrested, and they need to be held accountable for what they did.
All right. Here's my bias. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna be very honest. Okay. I have a bit of I feel like, and I know it's gonna sound wrong, but I'm just gonna say it, okay? Because you guys are my people, and we connect with each other, and I feel like I can trust everybody, and I can be a little bit, like share with you guys what my intuition is on that third suspect. I think the third suspect is a woman. I don't think it's the brother. I personally feel like the brother, if it's the brother, he would be all in here. I don't know, because I was like, at first I started thinking about, well, if it's a man or a woman being the suspect, right? And I said, for a man, it's a little bit different, right? Like brothers help brothers out. For a woman, throw the towel and just act like you ain't see nothing. Darlene says it was a female towel toss. No, I'm serious. I really definitely I feel like it's a female. I feel like it's the third person is a female. And the female, it could be the mama, Christopher's mom. It could be Ramon's girlfriend. It could also be maybe a girlfriend that Christopher has. I don't know why. Because I'm just saying, like, I just don't, you see, like, if Christopher has a brother, right? I could see brothers kind of working together to cover this up. I don't know why that came over to me. I said, and maybe that's just like biases that I might have, but I was thinking, I was like, that's something that a woman would do. Just throw the towel, try not to get involved, act like you know, here you go, clean that. I hate to put it that way, but that's what I'm thinking. That's what I think. Female, y'all think it's you guys are feeling the same way? Okay, let me ask again. Let me ask the polls, all right? I just feel it in my heart that the third suspect is a female. Intuition, speculation, rabbit speculating, not facts, okay? Do you believe that the third suspect is the following? Female, male. Go vote. And please hit the like button. Thank you. Go vote. I'm just wondering. You see, rats, is the same. They're thinking everybody's the same. Okay. I can't be the only one who feels that. I just something led me to believe that. I said it's a female. Mhm. Mhm. Hold up. Let me see if I could play this.
For playing whatever part in this that they played. The fact that Matthew has to have a closed casket, but I understand that they want, I don't know how many of you all have dealt with the loss of a loved one. I don't know how many of you all have dealt with the loss of a loved one through something like this. Sometimes it's better to have that image in your head of a person when they were still here, as opposed to the image in your head when they're laying in their casket.
I would agree with that.
I don't really want to go deep into detail about that, but if you understand, you understand. And I know some of you all definitely understand what I'm saying.
So you guys make sure you check out Cinema Shogun. But I love his explanation about kind of where about the third person, and I think it's just right on the money.
Because here's my thing. Let's say you're riding in the truck with a friend, and that friend gets an emergency call from their son or their daughter, right? And they speed off somewhere, and you're just there. You don't know what's going on. And they wind up bringing you in a situation like this. How guilty are you then? You know what I mean? Like, put yourself in this position. You're riding with a friend, maybe you're riding with a family member, you're riding with someone, and they get that emergency call from their kid.
Yep.
And they zoom over to a location. You don't really know what's going on. You have nothing to do with that at all, right? But out of nowhere, you have no control over the situation. You're kind of dragged.
As far as the father's perspective, because he was kind of dragged into it, I would agree with that as well.
Into something like what happened to Matthew and Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
If the third suspect, if the third person in the car, if the other person in the truck, if there was one, if they had no knowledge as to any of this stuff that was going on, what type of charge do you think they should get? And how guilty do you really think they are? I know it's easy right now for us to grab our pitchforks and we grab our torches, burn them all, death penalty for everyone. I understand that, right? And I do think that Christopher, throw whatever you want at Christopher. But when it comes to how much involvement other people had, that's the question that I have.
What if the third person just kind of walked into the situation? Because Ramon is accessory after the fact, if I remember correctly, as far as his charge. And Try Me Bitch, thank you for saying best true crime channel. I'm sure there's other ones, but thank you so much, Try Me Bitch, for being a member for 3 months. Shout out to you. Thank you. I'm kind of wondering about that. Robert says it was planned. They were up and dressed and ready to go and had the towel with them. They were in the scene immediately. Wait, I have a question though. Matt's brother, Paige, it says that he was Matthew's holding Fabian, but then Fabian is getting buried with Savannah. I think that they had a couple pictures with, if I remember how they did it, I could be wrong, Kelly, but don't quote me on this. What I've read, they got they got baby Fabian, and they took some pictures with Matthew and baby Fabian together. Okay, because you got to keep in mind this is the first time that I think they would be meeting baby Fabian. Okay, and then putting baby Fabian with Savannah. I think that's the plan. But they did do some pictures with them together. Yeah, I think that's how they did it. As at least that's what I read on the Facebook group. It's just yeah. Yes. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. If the third person just walked into the fact, there's no way they didn't know once the video came out. True. It's a good point. I would need to hear the third person's attitude. Was it Blonde Bomb who said, "Watch the third person be a male"? I don't know. Please don't quote me, okay? I'm just saying I have a feeling that the third person is female. Something is telling me I could be wrong. All right? I will eat crow if I'm wrong. Just note that. But something is telling me that the third person is female. And I'm looking at the poll. 180 3 votes. 90% said female, 10% said male. This is just, if you haven't voted, go vote, because I'm kind of curious to see where everybody lands. It hasn't changed. 90% female, 10% male. So you guys are kind of right there too with me, right? Like, we're feeling, I don't know, man. Hold up. Let me see what you guys are saying. A1 is the, hold up, is the best sauce to be eating crow with. Pika. I will eat crow with some A1 sauce. All right. We'll do that. We'll do that. Okay. Um, too bad. All right. I couldn't handle those pics. Too sad. It is sad. I don't. Let me say this. I don't want to play their memorial stuff on my channel. If y'all want to, of course, donate to their GoFundMe, go on their Facebook groups, and that is where you can get that information. I personally don't, because I feel like that is their moment, and that is their that's their family private moment, and I'm not family. I'm a commentator on YouTube, reporting on the news. That's what I am. So I don't want to do that to them. I heard the details about how Matthew was, there was pictures taken. That's what I know, but I'm not going to post any of that on. It's just not, I'm not family. It's not my place, and memorials are very personal. You know what I'm saying? This is how I feel. Happy J Life, happy life, Jay. Thank you for being for becoming a member. Thank you, thank you. But let me know what y'all think. Hold up. Marty Marsha, once the video came out, if the third person didn't know, they were shitting their pants, completely panicked. It would take a bit to get your head straight after seeing that. They couldn't have an open casket. That's what it sounds like. Let me go back a little bit, because y'all can hear it from the father's face. But the father said a lot in this. He said a lot. Okay.
Subscribe if you haven't already.
Hold up.
But without further ado, let's roll this clip,
And I gotta
then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Because of the time of the murder and the time the bodies were found, I'm not able to have an open casket for Matthew. So even that person who threw the towel knew a crime had been committed, and just by not reporting it, it's
to me, that says that they know who the person is. There is a person, and they possibly know who the person is. Interest, just the way he's talking. They know who the person is, and there is a third person. That's what I picked up on that. Okay? Did y'all hear that? They know who the person is. No mystery whatsoever. They know who the person is, right? What do y'all think? Let me know. Hold up. Let me share Cinema Shogun's channel, and I have to put it in the description box. You guys go make sure you go subscribe to Cinema Shogun. He does a lot of other commentary as well, but he definitely is into the true crime as well. Okay. What do you guys think about that? They know who it is, and there's a third person, right? We got it all there. That's how I see it. On another channel, they were showing the wake for Matthew at that point. They did have the casket open, stating baby Fabian was in his arms. Wow. That's great for that channel. Like I said, I'm not showing the wake. I think it's not my place to do that. It's not my place, and I don't know why people would, like, that's personal. That's memorials and wakes. I mean, unless the person is a celebrity, they're truly, like, there's no reason why anybody should be showing it. But that's just me. That's just me.
Teenager and her boyfriend is sparking questions about
Evidence.
whether there might be another suspect at large. 19-year-old Christopher Preciado was arrested alongside his father, 53-year-old Ramon.
Yeah, and that's a little bit different. Like, I know Melcha, if it's Univision and they're airing it, that's a little bit different. When they're actually using like I just feel some type of way about it when it's somebody's personal wake. You just got to be careful, If the family put it online on their page, that's on them,
Preciado this week. They're charged in the killings of Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra. KENS 5 reporter Zach Briggs is live outside public safety headquarters with insight from police. Zach?
and he sees that
Calling you out says, sorry, those guys have plenty of money for funerals. Remember the stacks of money those kids posted? Why are they getting so much sympathy? Fuck around and find out. Anybody in the chat want to answer that for calling you out? Y'all let me know. What do you guys think about that comment? Do you care to elaborate more calling you out on it? Listen, Peekaboo says all of those stacks of money was him flexing before, yeah, he was re-upped. He didn't just have money all the time like that. Not answering, a waste of time. Fucked around and found out. Well, I guess you don't see them as victims, right? Calling you out, I guess you don't. What are your thoughts on the father and the son entering the apartment complex two different ways? What father looking for spot to dump car? Was the father? What are your thoughts? Which you're talking about Ramon and Christopher? If you're talking about them, yeah, I mean, I think that they were trying to figure it out. They weren't very smart whatsoever. Like I said, I just don't think that they, like, I don't know if they were thinking or anything. And then they had the phone in there. Like, it's just so many factors that would have lent itself for it. And you're right, Kenneth. Univision gave permission to film. They didn't just go out there and a secret phone, TikTok, YouTube video. They had the family's permission to film. That's why it's a little bit different when Univision does it versus a TikToker or a Facebooker or a YouTuber. Whew. Oh, Chico says that it's bad luck to film the unalive. I don't know. I just think that it's morbid as fun. Some people have said that, actually. I've heard of that as well. Let's see what y'all are saying in here. You're not going to answer. You talking about calling you out. You're not going to answer. You said you feel for the baby, but that's it. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Who is slightly jealous? Lord have mercy. Of what? You don't have to like someone and what they did to understand that they are victims. Absolutely. They had guns and and calling you out, you're not the only person that has felt that. But honestly, I don't wish that on anybody, whether they had guns or did what they did. In my opinion, it's just not like, did they make stupid decisions? Yeah, but you know, oh, please not jealous. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to somebody else who said that in the chat. I had to block them because they were a troll. I wasn't talking about you, love. Two things can be true at once. Absolutely. And you're not the only person calling you out that has said that, that said, that they felt like, well, you fucked around and you found out. I'm just calling you out because, well, your name is interesting, but also because you're not the only person that feels that way. There's other people that feel like, you know, they made stupid decisions and it cost the baby's life. You know what I'm saying? You didn't wish that on them, but they all knew. Well, but when you say fuck around and found out, it's not wishing on them, but it's also not very sympathetic to that situation. You know, we obviously know what's happening here, right? This person is just trolling. If they watch Rabbit, they would know she doesn't do. I don't do call-ins. I don't do call. Is somebody trying to call in? All right, cool. Well, shout out to you. You are interesting too, Rabbit. Let's keep watching this, all right? Y'all are doing too much in the chat.
Surveillance video ended up being absolutely crucial for the investigation to find and arrest the Preciados. San Antonio Police Chief Willie McManus, alongside Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez this morning, began by expressing their condolences to the victims' families. Police allege Christopher Preciado pulled the trigger, killing Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra over a drug deal. The couple's unborn child, Fabian, also dead. In that surveillance video, Ramon Preciado gets out of the truck, approaches the Kia that belonged to the victims. Many people following this case have wondered whether there might be a third suspect involved.
No, there is a third suspect. We're not wondering. At this point, we know that there's a third suspect. Here's my question, you guys. Is the towel, what do they do with the towel? Where did this mysterious white tea towel, napkin, whatever the hell y'all have called it, where did it wind up? Do you think it got put back in the Silverado? I wonder if that's part of evidence if they located it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of wondering. Yes, I think the police didn't have leads off with it being dealers, and that's disrespectful. You think that she threw it in the laundry, trying to hide the scene? You said the father, he does? I didn't see that. Wait, are you serious? Really? He threw it back?
Well, that's because in the
Hold up.
security video, it appears to some there's a towel being thrown or handed to Ramon from
That's
someone
right.
inside the pickup. Here's McManus addressing that question about that towel and another possible suspect.
As the investigation continues, it could be. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it is possible. Again, that's something that would be determined once the level of that person's involvement is understood.
Mm.
And McManus did say that investigators were able to recover the firearm that is believed to have been used in the murders. It was discovered at the Preciado's residence, which is just blocks away from the crime scene.
Girl.
We're live at Public Safety Headquarters this evening. Zach
It should
Briggs,
not be
10
hard to
5.
find that video anymore. It's like just in the pits of. Hold up. Let me pull something from TikTok that somebody just sent me. Somebody just sent me something on TikTok. 1 second. Let's see this real quick. Oh yeah, there's a lot of wake pictures right now on TikTok. I'm good on that. We're not doing we not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. The second video, hold up. This is the interesting video that was inverted, right? Y'all remember this video? It's tossed behind the driver's seat. Okay. Let's see if I can make myself smaller. So he takes it back, right? Look at that. It's the same video. Something gets thrown. So Ramon is the driver. Somebody's the passenger, or they're either in the back seat of that Silverado. I'm sorry, anyone who has watched Rabbit before would know she doesn't do call-ins. Okay, I think I read that comment before. Yes, he put something in the back, right? Absolutely. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. There was somebody that made a very good point. I've seen the video, which was a bit clearer and zoomed in. It does look like that. Okay. You're good, dude. Calling you out. You're fine, love. Shout out to you. You're fine. You just have a difference of opinion, and I get it. I respect it. Don't trip, and y'all don't trip in the chat either. You know, this is a respectful. We try to do our best to keep it real PC. Okay. Yes, it's a towel. Ramon gave up Christopher too fast. Someone else did this, and since Christopher was young, he took the rap because no record. Wait, what? Ramon gave up Christopher too fast. Someone else did this? You mean somebody else? How do you know, Shirley, how do you know somebody else did this? Are you just speculating on that? Or do you know for a fact that somebody else did this? Because you're saying here like somebody else did it. Somebody else did it. That's what I'm thinking, Robert. If someone is in the back seat, there must be someone else in the front passenger seat. See, that's why I says like, do they have that towel? Do they have that towel? Because that towel would have a lot of DNA. Right? I have no concrete clue who tossed the towel. However, I feel that law enforcement does, and we'll get more information and confessions. I just don't know if they're going to do another press conference over this. You know what I'm saying? They probably just going to call it quits after, like, I don't know. We probably won't find any more detail. I would love for them to do another press conference because we have just so many questions. You know, I'm sure they have the rag because they towed the truck. But Darlene, are we assuming that they left the towel in the car or in the truck? They could have left it in the Kia. I just don't know. It's just hard to tell. People said that he tossed it back. Messy Beautiful Ball says, Christopher is still an adult, so the logic that he took the rap because of his age and no record makes sense. Capital murder is capital murder regardless. Absolutely. Now, does that mean that Christopher didn't pull the trigger? No, I don't think so. Shirley says, anytime someone gives up someone as fast as Ramon did when he answered the door and said, talk to my son, he called out Christopher, but there are other boys in that house. So you're thinking this is a cover up. Do you feel like Christopher is innocent? And so therefore you feel like Ramon has more to respond to this? SW, thank you. They may have been riding in the back seat to make sure that Christopher could jump in after walking away from the Kia. That's a good point. That's a good point. You got to keep in mind that this footage is dark, right? We don't know anything else besides what we see. I mean, what else do y'all see? Do y'all see something I don't see in there? They could have been in the back. I don't know. They could have jumped in. Did Christopher meet with Ramon at some point over there? He could have just jumped in the back seat and hauled ass from there, you know? Yeah, Patrick says, it's dangerous. If someone gets a strand of your hair, they can frame you. Mm. I'm having to block someone for the first time. My patience level is wearing out, but keep seeing the repetitive pick me post. No worries, Bridget. That's why you can block each other. But I'm just saying keep it respectful in the chat, please and thank you. I think the front passenger seat was empty and Christopher sat there after he got out of the Kia. You think they kept the towel? Laverne says, I've never seen this video from the passenger side of the truck to the passenger side of the car. Always seen the driver's side. So this is not a new video. This is just inverted, Laverne. People, when this broke, people were saying it's a new video. No, it's not. It's the same video that was kind of going around. It wouldn't shock me if they had the towel. I'm pretty sure they found the murder weapon. Doesn't seem like they really got rid of much stuff. I just don't. I think accessory after the fact makes sense for Ramon because he didn't know. I don't think he knew. I think his son committed the crime. How did we say it last time? Because we were live last time we were talking about this. I personally think that this happened at a parking lot. This is just my thought. They were meeting for drugs. Or maybe like they couldn't find each other's addresses. I don't know. It could be that they were both in the car. Savannah might have been in the front or the back. I'm not really sure. And then, here comes Christopher and shoots them, from behind. There was no self-defense in this situation. There couldn't have been if the gunshot is a contact wound. That's not the self-defense. There's no way. He might claim that, but I'd like to see how his defense team is going to do about that one. It just doesn't make sense. I'm not sure we will ever know the truth in this case, but I hope so. Me too. Me too. They kept the gun, and so I'm sure they kept the towel too. You said, I agree, but he's not innocent, but didn't do it alone. Ooh. Okay. Y'all are saying he's not innocent. Who in their right mind would say they murdered someone when they didn't, especially at 19? That's a good point. Especially capital murder could be, makes you eligible for the death penalty. It's crazy. It could be they could have met at a park. The truck is in the driveway. Wasn't the truck used in the crime? It was towed as evidence. I don't know. You never do a deal where you lay your head. Yeah, why would you? But see, they have the Charlie Chan address team maker. So you kind of have to wonder, like, were they making the deal? Where were they making exactly the deal? Like, why was his address being searched on her phone? You know what I'm saying? Why? Don't Kias have OnStar? It tracks everything. You would think, right? The neighbor that threw the memorial away is the video covering the car that has the baby killer on it. Gotcha. See, I want to know who wrote baby killer on his car. I don't think we'll ever find out. Someone in the back makes perfect sense unless the truck cab has separate doors to the back seat. See? If not, they were in the front and they had to get out to get Christopher in. True. The DNA. The third person could have been that person that called the family to tell them where the car was first spotted. That could be the third person. Somebody told them. When I first when before they were well, I want to say when the news broke that they were found, um and the clue came in, we were like they wanted them to find them. Like that's what our thought was. They wanted to be found. This was a sign. This is what led us to believe that it might have been gang related. But now that we know a little bit more details, it's not really the case. It was just a drug deal gone wrong. Um, I'd say more than not the third person is already known by the police, and they're using him or her as an informant witness to guarantee the highest prosecution in court for some kind of a deal with the police. Well, and Polly, and just imagine if the third person clearly was in the car, in the truck, the third person was in the truck. We don't know if this third person was just picked up on the road or happened to be in the crime scene or happened to be in the vicinity when it all went down. We don't know what role this third person played. But listen, I am ready for the statement. I'm ready for this shit to be FOIA'd so we can read it. Just like we did the affidavit. I'm ready. I'm ready. Because I'd like to know what the third person saw. And the third person didn't report, right? So should they be held liable? Should they be prosecuted too? I think so. So if they're working a deal with the prosecution based on the information that they're going to give that's going to convict these two, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. Probably whoever was in the front seat and probably in the back, so Chris could get in faster after dropping off the car. Excuse me. Um, Hold up, y'all. Thank you, mental chillness. Thank you for being a member for 2 months, and Gypsy Lola, thank you for being a member for 7 freaking months. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. They should be charged too, says Jackie. I would agree with you on that too. Yep, I'm all for the prosecution of the third person, whatever whoever. I don't know. It'd be cool with immunity. State has the weapon. Mm. I think that they're just as guilty. You know what I'm saying? Um, Hold up. I wonder if the third person was who reported the location of the car feeling guilty. Daisy, that see? What if the third person is that informant that allegedly said something? I don't know. You don't think anybody knows what happens yet. They must have gotten nervous if it was the third person. Carlos has a new video up. The neighbor is covering the black car. Really? Does he have a new on TikTok? Oh my God. Hold up. Let's go. Really? Carlos, I'm sure his stuff is like, I knew he grew like a lot of freaking subs overnight. Is it Carlos Gallego? What is his I don't see his page anymore. What had happened? Where's his page at? Yo, is he gone? Ah, his account is private, you guys. What happened? You guys, his account is private. Look at that. It's not there anymore. And I think it was like Carlos 182. Wasn't it like Carlos 182 or something like that? Gallegos 182. Yeah, it's gone. What happened to his page? Cali Nurse, where's the page? He probably got harassed. He probably took it down for a minute. Clarice says he was having some of the problems with the neighbors. Yeah, the neighbors are like, get that shit down. We're tired of it. He was on duty wrong last night. I saw that. Cali Nurse, do you know if I kind of wonder what happened with his page. I don't see your comment anymore. Maybe you can comment again. Let me know. He probably had hate. This does happen. I think Carlos got spooked after neighbors had words with him. He probably had to put his. I mean, the whole neighborhood is on there now. He got threats. Oh, no way. There was well, Shirley, how do you know that there was cameras in Ramon's house? Why didn't they show that video? Because that would have nailed this. Well, I'm wondering if that's also evidence. How do you know that there's cameras in Ramon's house or on Ramon's house? Which one is it? In or on around the property? Gypsy Lola, he changed his name to what? What's his name now? Keg 74? All right, I'm following you. 74. Is this it right here? But his account's private. Do I need to I'm sure I probably have to follow it. Yeah, he's probably going to have to accept my follow. Yeah, it's private. His account's private. Look. Camera is up on the garage. Okay, but it's just a garage. It probably have that in evidence or something. It's private. He probably privated that stuff. I mean, people are taking his content. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had to he needs to put like a watermark on his videos cuz like every TikToker took his videos, okay? I saw that, but Crafty Kid his account is on private. Yeah, this is the gremlin picture, yo. Look. It's it right there. His account's on private. Anyways, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments about this whole situation. I mean, I'm just wondering, I'm waiting for that third person arrest or cooperation just to see kind of what role they're going to play in this case. Do you guys think it's a woman, a man? What do you guys think? Just let me know in the comments. And if it's a man or a woman, is it Ramon's girlfriend? Christopher's mom? Christopher's girlfriend? Or Christopher's brother? Let me know in the chat what y'all think about who this person could be. Let me know. It's a man. Shirley said it's a man. All right. It's a man. It's a man. It's a man. Cool. All right, you guys. You guys have a great evening. I'll see you guys on the next one. And like I said, if we get more news, you already know it's popping. We will go live and talk about it. Rabbits out.